All right, good evening, everybody. I hope and pray that all is well with everyone. Thank you for joining. I'm not going to do a reading. But last week, I made one pendulum. I broke down a beaded body chain that I made. And I made a pendulum with it, okay? This is one that I made. This is not what I made last week, but this on here, this is one with amethyst. This one is the one I made last week on live when I broke down the beaded body chain that I made. Okay, it made this. It looks more like a little decorative something than a. I want to show you guys something real quick. The beaded body chain that I broke it down from, I have it on my community tab. I don't know, I might have posted it last year, but I could post another picture of it. This was a part of it. So there's a choker, but of course I didn't make it last. I think I made this quite a number of years ago. And this was a part of the beaded body chain. So, what you can do, like I was saying last week, in one of the books that I had about pendulums, the author spoke about always having your pendulum on you. And of course I talked about, and I've shown, I used to do a class on it all the time, how you can use a myriad of things for a pendulum. It doesn't have to be some decorative thing that you get out of a store with a particular kind of stone. If it swings, you can use it, okay? But if you want to pay the money, you know, we are consumers in capitalistic society, so they're going to sell us anything, okay, to make us think it have to be like it doesn't. Okay, but yet and still, why not? Okay. You can even put it, one thing in one of the books, I read this book so long ago. I mentioned there were two books that I had. One was called A Bit of Pendulums. That was the second book. The first book, I don't remember the name of it. I don't even know what I did with the doggone book. Okay, but anyway, she said, they suggested in the first book, I said they because I think it was like two authors of that book, to always have it on you, okay? Well, ladies, you can put it in your bra, you can put it in your pocket, you can put it in your purse, okay? And then you can I was just thinking, you can put it on your keychain. You always have your keys with you, okay? Let me see. Here's just a little key thing, whatever, key ring. Okay. And you can put it on your keychain. Okay. Get your key ring, put it through the hole, put it on your keychain. And it could just look like, as opposed to some magical, mystical thing that might scare somebody. Okay. I mean, I've used mine in public. It depends. Not just any old place, but it depends on where I am. Okay. I think only one time I had somebody ask me what it was, one of my students or whatever. You know, you put it on your keychain. You know how they sell all of that stuff, you know, to put on your keychain. You can put it on there and it just looks like a decorative, you know, piece of something to put on your keychain. Okay. This one has a lot less stuff on it if you're worrying about, you know, carrying your keys around. You know how you grab your keys up and whatnot, and you're worried about some of the stuff possibly falling off. Okay, I want to say because it is handmade, but it doesn't matter. You get stuff from the store and the shit fall apart all the time. Okay, but anyway, that's just one. That may be one, something like that that you don't want. Now, I ain't never seen one like this. This is what I created last week. Okay, so I'm gonna make some more. I have stones for 3. They're not gonna be as elaborate as this one. Okay. What is that? Oh, this is this stone. I don't know if you all can see it that well. There, I was wondering about last week. I couldn't remember what it was, and I said Larimar, and I was like to myself, that is not Larimar. It's aquamarine. Okay, but anyway, so I'm going to show you what I have. Will I make all 3? I don't know, but I'm going to show you. I got 3 stones. Okay, strawberry quartz, which I thought was so. I love quartz, but I thought this was so pretty. You can see it's rough. Okay, it's not polished or anything like this, but this is strawberry quartz. Okay. This is mulkite. For people who may not want something so elaborate and big, you know, you don't want a big stone like you got here on this, you know, this amethyst. That stone is kind of big. You don't want anything big. You maybe want something small. This kind of is in the shape of more so the stones that they use, okay, in the that they sell in the stores. Stone doesn't have to be a point. You understand what I'm saying? Like I said, if it swings, you can use it. Okay. And then I have I like big stuff. Okay, I like the big stones. This now they told this was the only one they had. Okay, I don't know if it was the last one, but it was the only one they had because Lady was like, it's the only one there, and I was like, yeah. So I don't know if it was the only one they had or if it was the last one of this. I forget what it's called because I had never heard of it. Something phosphoritous or something like that. I cannot remember. It was nothing I had ever heard of before, okay? But again, I like big things, okay? Big jewelry pieces, big stones. All right. So I'm going to sit here like I did last week. I got the little heads I got for all 3. I don't know if you can see Buddha heads. All right, to go at the top. All right. So y'all just sit here with me while I make these. Let's see what I chatted up about. Oh, let me show you something else I made. This is what I was going to hold on. This is what I was going to make. Hold on, please. This is what I was going to make today. Okay, on here. This is something I made. This is the only one that I made. Okay, I made this probably 2017 or 2018. Okay, it was before I got on YouTube the first time, my old channel. of the same name. Let's get into it. Okay, this was something I created to put in on your rear view mirror in your car for protection. Okay, as you drive. You see the little skulls I got up there. Okay, I can't recall all the stones on here. Okay, I got amethyst, I got tiger's eye, of course. This is some kind of agate, rose quartz, and then I have freshwater pearl. I used to use a lot of freshwater pearl when I made my waist beads, especially my beaded body chains. I really, really love freshwater pearl. I think it is beautiful. I've got moonstone on here. I got one, I'm not sure what it is. I got crystal quartz, and of course turquoise and onyx stone. There's only one stone in here. I can't think of what it. Oh, that's labradorite. So those are all the stones that's on here. Amethyst, tiger's eye next, some kind of agate, rose quartz, that's the freshwater pearl. The next one is moonstone. This is the labradorite, crystal quartz, and turquoise at the bottom. Now these at the top, okay, I forget what they call these kinds of stones, but the reason I use these is because what you can do with those is they got little holes in it, and what you can do with it is you can put fragrance like essential oils on there. Okay, so I thought that would be nice instead of the you know, the fake, the false smelling little trees and stuff that they have for you to put on your rear view mirror. Okay, I got that. I'm not gonna lie, I tried it. I didn't smell anything. Okay, I might not have put enough on there. I used to have it in my car. Okay, not my current car, but my old car. Okay, but I took it down because I had people stalking me, especially Pissies. Okay, he knew what car I was driving because he used to do crazy ass shit, especially when I confronted him one time. I was in that car, so who knows, he probably studied, they probably was all in my driveway studying my car and shit. So when I got rid of that car, I didn't put it in my next car because I didn't want these people stalking me, following me, okay, with them trying to take my life and all of that type of shit. Okay, but I still, here I have it now. Like I said, this was the first one that I made, and I didn't make another one after this. What I had found was I measured it, you know, to see how much room you needed for. I probably would make this top part a little bit bigger, but I would definitely make these longer, but not that much longer. Okay, just a smidget longer. And I put these on here just for the weight, for it to hang. Okay, but it was supposed to be for, you know, spiritual protection as you drive. That's what I was going to make today. Okay, but I didn't really, I didn't know what stones I wanted to use just to make it online, so I opted to go with making some more pendulums for today. But I will make these another time here on live so you can see the work. Okay, for those of you who may have seen my short that I made, where I get these beads from here in Cleveland, Cleveland Heights. The owner, well, it was a bead store before she owned it. I had not ever gone in that one. When she owned it, I had gone in there. Okay, right, and that's when I started making stuff. Okay, and she, not the fucking liars who want to act like my original work was something I copied from their lowly asses. Okay, but as she said in the video, in the short, I was one of the first people to go in there when she owned it, about 11 years ago. She said this is their 11th year anniversary. I was one of the first people to come in there. Okay, and that's when I had started making stuff. That's not when I started making weight speeds for you losers. I was making other things for myself. Okay, and then when I was at that gym, that's when I started making weight speeds and selling it to the women in the gym, because I didn't know who else to sell it to. And I thought, oh, you know, they care about their body, how they look. You know, I wasn't selling them in mind of, some people like to use waist beads for a weight loss, you know, to show them, if they're losing weight or gaining weight. Because, of course, if you're gaining weight, if you have them on that stretchy string, which I don't use, then I did when I first started making them, then they're going to roll up. They're going to start to roll up. As you're losing weight, of course, they're going to fall down. So that would be a good indicator, but that's not why I was selling it to them. I was selling it to them because I think waist beads are gorgeous. First time I came across waist beads, I believe that's when I was in DC, when I went to Howard. DC back then, was straight up chocolate city, baby. Okay. So you had so many black cultures from the diaspora were represented in Washington, D.C. Loved it, honey. Oh my God. I went back there. Oh, it's been about maybe 8 years now to homecoming. They had really gentrified it. Some of the black bookstores, the Blue Nile, that's where, well, I don't wear it now, but I got my nose pierced. That wasn't the first time I got my nose pierced, but I got my nose pierced there. Then they had what was the name of that other store? I can't remember. But it was right on the corner. I can't remember the street of Georgia Ave, and I can't remember the cross street. It was a yellow building, and they had a huge, like pharaoh. I don't know how they did it, but sticking out from the building. It was, and we used to go there. Me and my friend of mine, my girl back then, we would go there every Sunday morning, my senior year, every Sunday morning, and get a vegan breakfast, the best breakfast in town, honey, brunch. And I go back to her house and we just talk about all our dreams and whatnot, what we wanted to do and encourage one another. We had a good time. But a lot of those stores were gone when I went back to DC. As a matter of fact, I was in the air. I was like, where am I? And the girl I was with, she was a friend of mine way back then. She was like, girl, you know where we are. Because she stayed in the area, in the DC, Maryland area, DMV area. And I was like, I don't. And then when she told me, I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this is where we are. Because it was really changed. But I still love DC. DC is just like one of my favorite places. Of all the places I've been so far, it's one of my favorite places. I love, absolutely. And it was when I was in college back then. When was I in college? In 1990, I went to DC and graduated in 94 from Howard. It was very expensive then. God knows what it is now. All right. But anyway, that's when I first saw them, and I fell in love with them. And I knew a girl here who had some, and I don't remember if she said she made them herself or whatever. And I was like, you know what? I want some. I've always liked them. Always wanted them. I'm going to make some for myself. And I did. And then I selling them to the women at that gym facility where those fuckers started attacking me with hood rats. But anyway, so for the motherfuckers who want to act like I copied off of them, get a fucking reality check. Fuck out of my face with that bullshit, okay? But anyway, let's go here with this pendulum. Okay, I think this first one I'm going to make, like I said, I'm not going to do it real fancy or super decorative like this one I have here. These, I announced last week that, this one with the amethyst, okay, this super decorative one here, there's no special stones on here. Well, I mean, there's some jade on here, just a little bit. This one, because these aren't any special stones here, just like glass beads. And the choker, I was giving them away, okay. The choker, I think, came to like 13.5 inches, but there is an extension here. Okay, I was giving them away, and if you were interested, all I need from you is shipping and handling, okay, and then it's yours, okay. No one reached out or said anything. I didn't tell people to come to my email because I believe these fuckers have my email blocked. I don't get any, and I should be. So I said that you could comment in, underneath the video. That it's still open. I'm not going to keep them free forever, though, okay? I have someone who wants to sell them retail. I'll sell it to him wholesale, and he's going to sell them retail, okay? But I'm offering this to you all first, okay? But if nobody responds, I'll give it a little bit longer and then I'll just cut it off. And if you're one of these fuckers who wants to bother me, harass me, like 3 the hard way, who came and did that dream infiltration the other night. I don't know why you bitches won't leave me alone, especially you, Zarita, Phoenix, Paige, and bitch, I saw your motherfucking ass. Passed right by your ass. Saw your ass the other day at Days. Passed right, looked you dead in your face, and passed right by you. I don't think you recognize me. But anyway, here come y'all motherfucking asses again. I don't know why y'all keep fucking around with Zarita crazy ass. But anyway, okay. So let me go ahead and, like I said, I do not make the chain. I do not make it long because I don't see the point of that. It's very uncomfortable for me. So I make it, you know, what I think is comfortable for you. Well, yeah, I know it's comfortable for me, but I don't see the point in a pendulum being this motherfucking long. I mean, like, what is the fucking point of that? Okay. And like I said, if it swings, you can use it. Okay. Doesn't matter what it is. It really doesn't. If it swings, you can use it. Okay. All right. So first I'm going to, I think I'm going to make the strawberry quartz first. Okay. That's not going to, that ain't going to work. So, okay. So I'm going to have to put something, well, then I might skip that one. And I don't want to, well, I use what I have. I used to have like a lot more stuff than what I oh, this is not what I wanted. Shit. Okay, that's gonna have to wait. Okay. So I'm gonna do this big beautiful white one first. Isn't it pretty? Okay. Now I have to be careful because even though you see the loop on the end, it still can go through the hole. Like this strawberry quartz, the hole is really big. It's huge. I really didn't take that into consideration. I was just looking at the stones. I haven't made this stuff in so long. So I would, would make a lot of mistakes, and then, you learn from your mistakes, you keep going, and I would see, okay, I gotta, I might, I don't want to, but I might break this down to utilize for this, because I got to put a stone there so that the head doesn't go through. The pin head doesn't go through. Okay. But I'm going to use, like I said, I don't have a lot of beads, okay, anymore. Okay. Because, oh, there's all my shit. Because I'm starting fresh. I haven't done this in forever. Okay. In a long motherfucking time. Right. Yeah, so, but I posted that video for the liars. I can't stand no fucking bully ass liars. Fucktards. Alright. The Muakite, I'm gonna have to figure that out. I wasn't paying no attention when I bought that motherfucker. Actually, I had picked some other stones. I went there the other day, okay, and I picked something. Let me see. I picked something else, and I wasn't able to get it at that time, so I left them in there, and she held on to them for me. And when I went back in the store, I got these. I saw them sitting over there in the corner, but I said I'm gonna go ahead and get this, okay, and go back and get that because she knows me, and she knows that I'll be going back in there to retrieve it because she knows me. All right. Let me see if this is going to work. Well, I want it to. think I have anything in particular to talk about today. I did last week either. I was just on here making the shit and I just started talking. Okay. But I'm just like so fascinated with all of this. Now let me say this. One of the idiots who thought she was going to harass me and stalk me, which she still does, with the end goal of taking my life and my essence, and you promised you was going to get rid of her for me. You promised. I want to be like her, but I'm better than her. And all that dumb shit. She's an artist. And her artwork is absolutely phenomenal. She made jewelry, and her jewelry was, well, at least the pieces I saw were very nice. Her artwork was very nice. And even though I have absolutely no love for this person at this point because of her lies and her stalking and getting people involved and her lying about me and rallying them to try to destroy me, and rallying Scruffy over there to help him with it. Calling her a fucking earth angel with her weird fuck ass. I still don't take away people's talents. You know, they're talented. They're simply talented. You know, and she's very talented. It's unfortunate she didn't believe in her own fucking talent. I told this girl one time, you got millions of dollars in your fucking hands. Her artwork was fucking phenomenal. This bitch, I told her one time, I was like, bitch, you can take an apple core or stem and make that shit look like, I don't know, the #1 stunner, goddamn, everybody would buy that shit. That's how phenomenal her shit was. But I don't want to do that. Well, then you don't have to do that if you don't want to. Okay. But don't you be, more than one person can make things. Okay. And I would not even dare attempt to do the kind of artwork that she does. All right. You have to believe in yourself, and had issues with the fact that her work didn't look like this or didn't look like that. It doesn't need to. Okay. Or feeling like she needed to go to school, which you can do. I don't have anything against that. I tried to give her the example. If you go, sometimes there's nothing wrong with that. The bitch didn't want to go. She claimed she didn't want to do it no motherfucking way. But trying to be someone else, which I think is some weird ass shit her mother put in her fucking mind. But anyway, that who she was and what she had going on wasn't good enough. That's why she's been bothering the fuck out of me ever since. But I gave her the example of WAC. I don't know if people are familiar with WAC. Those are his initials. W-A-K. And he's the one who did they were very, very well known, like in the 90s? Maybe late 90s, 90s at some point, like as one, where he had the, here, let me bring it up. I'll show you guys, and some of you will be, once you see the pictures, you'll know who the fuck I'm talking about. Some of you will not. But I love his work. I had one of his pieces. I'll show you what I had. Here he is. I'm going to show you some of his work. Okay. That you may. Okay, I don't know if you can see that. That's the piece that I had. That's as one. Okay. Here's another one, behind every great man, and you got the woman right there. Let me show you guys some more. I love this one. I absolutely love it. Look at her fro. I love that one. Let me show you guys some more that you may be familiar with, that are more common than others. Some of them I gotta be careful because, you know, YouTube and the nudity and whatnot. So they're not really, they're nude, but their body parts are covered up. That's one right there. That's one. When I was dating my daughter's father, he gave me that. It's called I Surrender. Okay. Surrender to the love, baby. Or was it this one? No, that's not the one he gave me. That's right. And here's another one right here. Interlocked, a man, a black man and woman. This is the one he gave me right there. Kiss. That's the one he gave me, which I thought was really nice. And then they have the lock and the key, the female lock. You know, she has the lock, he has the key, and here they are intertwined. And here's a very well-known one, this right here, made for each other. See, you may have seen this like in beauty salons and stuff like that. Seen that. That's whack. For those of you who may not be familiar with him. And I was telling her, I read up about his background, and he's self-taught. He was self-taught. He wasn't trained, you know, I'm not saying he didn't go, I believe that's what I read, that he didn't go to art school or anything, that he was, show is handsome. There he is right there. Okay. Kevin A. Williams, urban fine artist. Okay. Yeah, I don't see it. I'm just trying to, there it is. His line was launched in 1995, and he began with a single, Brent Taking Her Back, and that sparked the creation of the 5-work Black Love series, which are some of the pictures that I showed you. And if like I said, I remember correctly, he was self-taught. He didn't go to school, you know, and I was trying to explain that to her. Now, bitch, if you want to go to school, fine. My thing was, though, don't let going to school take away your natural abilities, because she was on this thing of, well, they say it don't look like this, don't look, fuck what they say, that's your fucking work. God damn, they want to take your work from you, your artistry from you. I'm back. Get the fuck out of here, that crazy shit bothering fucking me. I want to be like, y'all said that was gonna kill her for me so I can get her monies and her destinies. I want people to look at me like, oh, bitch, you got wonderful work in your fucking hands. Fuck out of here. You created some whole fucking fake ass narrative lie about my fucking ass. And told the niggas, because the niggas a killer. Fuck out of here. And then doing more black magic on me than the law should allow, because they saw my fucking ass on YouTube. I'm like, really? Come from a whole different time period. Do that shit with somebody else who gives a fuck about that dumb shit. Anyway. So that's for the fucking lies and liars. Earth Angel, my goddamn ass. And then came bothering me the other night with that goddamn dream infiltration. And bitch, I know you don't look like that. And I know you're going to watch the video. You are watching it. And I think that was you that commented under that Leo read. One of the commenters. I deleted the goddamn comment. But anyway, trying to look like, bitch, I know you don't look like you did 10, 12 years ago, bitch. Fuck out of here. Okay. All right, so let's continue on here. Okay. You're sick of people bothering you with their fucking issues and their fucking goddamn problems. And want to attack you and shit. You trying to fucking rest. And have shown and proved I don't care about your shit. And your goddamn issues and your goddamn problems. After you done tried to take my life. Literally. Getting motherfuckers you don't even fucking know off the internet involved in your dumb shit. Fucking weirdo. No, they came through with the dream infiltration. 3 the hard way. 3 fucking cousins who I ain't talked to in eons. I saw the bitch coming out the goddamn grocery store the other day and didn't even acknowledge her fucking presence. Bitch, why are you bothering me? Okay. You're not my fucking cousin here. Now, if you get these pendulums, I don't want to hear nobody silly shit. You over there cussing over the spiritual. You go in them stores and you buy that shit I talked about this last week. You don't know who made them. You don't know what the intention was behind them making them. You don't know what they spoke over them, whether that be clothes, shoes, music, any and everything. You take it home. You don't clean it. Tarot cards, oracle cards, you take it home. So I'm not saying everyone. You don't clean it. You don't pray over it. You don't do shit. You just, I'm spiritual. I got this. Come over here with that dumb shit. He got to be like this. It doesn't. Okay, now let me see. But I goddamn sure have a right to speak up against somebody who keeps fucking harassing me who I stopped talking to 7 fucking years ago. And her fucking boyfriend who married that scruffy animal over there. And him keep with his goddamn witchcraft. He's weirdo. All right. Trying to rest, and here they come. 3 the hard way. Looking a wreck. All right. But anyway, the work was phenomenal. But, you know, when you have people in your life who are supposed to be guides, a guide to your highest and greatest self, parents, and they bully you and they make your life miserable and talk to you like you ain't shit and don't see the natural talent that they have and cultivate that and say things to them to make them feel like they're worthless. This is the end result. Here you have somebody who probably should be a fucking billionaire simply because of the raw talent. I mean, the girl's talent was fucking ridiculous. And I done seen some talented motherfuckers. Okay. And her talent was ridiculous. To have people, parents, again, who abuse their children mentally and physically and psychologically and emotionally. And the mother is like the first god in a person's world. And all you do is shower them with disapproval of who and what they are. Talking about they wanted her to be a doctor. Why? There's nothing about her that speaks doctor, but everything about her, it speaks artist. Don't tell nobody. Like you're ashamed of her. That's what you turned her into. And now here I am, got to deal with her crazy ass. Because you abused the fuck out of her. Didn't show her any kind of love or any kind of appreciation for who and what she was. And put that energy on her fuck ass. So that everywhere she went, and other people in the fucking family would look at her the same way. Because of your fucking jealousy. And now she roaming, acting a goddamn fool. And not accomplishing anything. I mean, I done seen some motherfucking talent. That shit, that gift that girl had was ridiculous. But it meant nothing to her. Not because it meant nothing to her, but because it meant nothing to the first god of her life. Who made her feel like she was worthless. Probably because she was jealous of her fucking ass and all that other weird ass shit they got going on in that fucking family. Okay, so here I am, and the bitch keep coming, and bitch, leave me the fuck alone, bitch. Now, I'm sorry for your shit, but I ain't got shit to do with that shit, and they're lying on me. You got motherfuckers coming after me with all kind of black magic and witchcraft and shit for fucking years, lying to the goddamn practitioner the woman, she probably wanted to participate anyway. She probably like my motherfucking ass anyway. She stopped after a while, I guess. I don't know. She might still be doing shit for that fucking ass. Lying on me, jealous. I'm not your problem, fucking weirdo. And if you think that whatever you think that I have, that you got to have, crying to people, talking about what they promised and all of that type of shit, when you should have left motherfuckers alone, bitch, they still ain't gonna like your motherfucking ass. Because that's how motherfuckers do. And if it takes material things for people that's supposed to love you from a spirit of humanity to love you, then goddamn they don't love you, bitch. Wake up. Or you think material things are going to make you be somebody. What the fuck are you talking about? Okay, so now since this one is so big, I'm going to cut the chain down a little bit more, maybe to about, maybe to about there. Shut up, scruffy cow, bitch. All right, all right. Motherfucker spread all kind of shit about me that wasn't true from out of her fucking mouth. Another one. Every picture I took, I look on Facebook, here she taking pictures like it. This was before I even got on fucking YouTube the first time. I said, look at this shit right here. Bitch, I'm not your fucking mother. Better talk to that weirdo. All right. Boom shakalaka, done. Okay, real quick. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that stone beautiful? Okay. And then you got the Buddha head. All right. All right. So that was quick. Okay. So I'm going to do... Now, the Moonlight, I thought I looked at it. Oh. So the hole is not going down. It's going this way. Now, if I had... Do I have wire? What did I do with that? I know I have wire. You know, and people like that, you revel. These people revel. They love it when the child is full of fucking issues and problems that they created in the child. Okay, now we do hold a responsibility when we become of age, to take care of be realistic with ourselves, take care of ourselves. But goddamn, think of the foundation that is formed in a person's mind and in their spirit and their heart and their soul and their fucking being. When the first God you see, when you come out wild, and you're looking in that fucker's face, and she's supposed to breastfeed you and feed you, hold you, love and cuddle you. Be happy you're here and all of that kind of stuff, and make you feel safe and secure. And all you do is throw insecurities at them from the moment they fucking get here. How do you expect them to be? But see, people like that, you want them to be, isolated, okay, and have fucking emotional issues so that you can say they ain't shit. Now, I don't understand a parent who wants to say that about their child. That's your fucking child. If they ain't, then you bear some responsibility in that, son. I ain't saying it's all your fault. Some parents, it is all their motherfucking fault. Some, human beings choose their own way, whatever way they want to go. But that shit is your fucking fault. And then having her think that if she go get some money and some material shit, then she'll be worthy of your love. So attack her over there. Get her shit. Then I'll pay you some fucking goddamn attention. Okay. And if you were able to do it and you did it, she still wouldn't love your fucking ass. Jealous. And it's usually got something to do with some goddamn man. These women who, my dad, I guess people would say he was a ladies' man. My dad had, ever since I can remember, my dad had girlfriends, wives. My dad had 3 wives. 4, was it 3 or 4? 1, 2, 4. Including the lady that raised me that I thought was my birth mother. She was the first. That I know. You know, when you find out this shit, you don't know what's true and what's not. I can only tell you what I was told. And no, I ain't talked to nobody in years. And will not be. Okay? Now, like I said, I don't have a lot of stones. I don't have a lot of beads at this time. I'm re-upping my shit. Okay. So you might see this kind of bead, but you don't care. I ain't gonna tell you that. That's what the lady would tell me. You gotta tell him all that, just do it. The lady who raised me would tell me, you gotta tell him all that, just do it. And she's absolutely right. But anyway, you know. So, and yet, you know, when it wasn't a wife, it was a girlfriend. I met a lot of women's, okay, in his life. Some was nicer than others. Some was just downright insane. Now, why do I say that? I remember one time when I was living in Atlanta, when I went to graduate school, my dad lived in Atlanta. He lived in Stone Mountain. So I spent a lot of time with him during that time. He wasn't married at the time. Okay, he was in between wives. And I met one of his friends. And this lady just kept looking at me all crazy. I want to say, bitch, I am not his woman. The fuck is wrong with you? I'm his daughter. You're sick. To be looking at me like that, like I'm some kind of fucking competition. I'm his child. I mean, women who do that kind of crazy ass shit. The fuck is wrong with you? His child. Not his woman. And so my sibling, he lived in Baltimore one time. And I went to visit him and he was telling about this woman he was dating, blah, blah, blah. So I go to visit and I met this woman. Same thing. And I told him, I said, that bitch is crazy. And he said, well, why you say that? I said, did you see how she was acting? Simply when we were all playing a game. I can't remember what game it was. I don't know, Monopoly or some shit. He always liked them damn games, okay? Them board games and shit. I said, when we were playing Monopoly or whatever the hell it was we was playing, well, what she do? I said, you didn't see how, I mean, like, she was talking to me and whatnot. I did kind of see that. I did kind of see that. And I said, crazy. Like I'm your girlfriend. I'm your fucking sister. He said, you know what she did that when mine came? I said, she's a fucking nut. You don't need to be around, had no woman in your life like that. I forgot damn nation. Bitch can't tell the difference between a motherfucking sibling, mother, and a girlfriend. She has that kind of those kinds of jealousy issues. Run. Run. I can't remember what happened, but that relationship ended. Run for your fucking life. Okay? Bitch ain't gonna bring you nothing but mayhem and confusion. You're jealous of somebody's goddamn mama and their fucking sister or their daughter. Weird freak shit is that. Okay, got the stone piece together. These are gonna go by really quick today, cause I'm not, like I said, I'm not doing as much remember this girl here, this artist. I took her years ago. I first came back to Cleveland and listened to that woman at Raven. Go get her. Okay. And this is what it turns out to be. A fucking nut that I got to deal with that won't leave a bitch alone. But anyway, I wanted to go to the Louis Vuitton store at Beechwood. Now, I ain't never been no Louis Vuitton fan. I'm sorry, I'm not. At least that the Signia or whatever, that gold LV on that brown, I'm like, that's, to me, Louis Vuitton, if you're watching, I don't mean no harm. I just thought the shit was ugly. I'm like, that shit is ugly. It looks like some old person shit. I don't give a fuck who it is. The shit is ugly. I said, but you know what? I'm the kind of person like, I'm going to give something a chance. So I said, I'm going to go to the Louis Vuitton store. So I went to the Louis Vuitton store one time. And listen, honey, there was a purse in there. Didn't have that shit on there. It had LV, but not that shit. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, let me see that motherfucker. Let me see that purse. So he was like, the guy was like, you want to see that purse? I said, yes. Oh my, look at it. I was like, he asked me 3 times. I was like, yes, I want to see that purse. And he was like, you got good taste. He said that purse, it was a limited edition. It was some kind of exclusive leather. He told me the whole 9. And the cost of the purse was just some outrageous shit. Okay. And he said it's a limited edition, and I was like, oh God, I wanted it so bad. I thought I'm going to go home and save up my money to buy that shit with my $11 hour job. Okay, this was years ago, right? All right. That's too long for me, so I'm going to cut this motherfucker down. Okay, I just don't like them that long. Okay, unless you do, but I don't have the chat open. And, he told me the name of the purse. I wrote that motherfucker down on the back of his business card. I was like, oh my God, that motherfucker. It was just so nice. So one of our Saturdays, she would stay overnight on Friday night sometimes, and I said, come on, let's go to the mall. So we went to the mall. We went to the Louis Vuitton store. I was telling her my little story. I said, I'm gonna see if the purse is still there. When we got there, the purse wasn't there any longer. It's limited, bitch. You better get it while you goddamn can, goddamn, okay? And she sat there and stared, and she said, I like being with you. And I was like, okay, you like nice stuff. I do. I like very nice things. I like quality things. And I don't give a fuck what I wear on YouTube. Scant hoe. I like hanging out with you. Okay, whatever. She clung to the shit. Bitch, shut up. Fucking retard. And I didn't mind her saying that. I didn't mind her feeling that way. I didn't really think nothing of it. Just like, yeah, I like nice shit. I like quality shit. I don't give a fuck if it with that LV. That other shit is uglier than a motherfucker. The leather and shit might be good as hell. I don't give a fuck if shit is ugly. To me, it's ugly. I would never walk around with that motherfucker. It's ugly. Now, to the world realm of others who thought that shit was live as hell, fine. I don't. Confirmation. And I ain't got to neither. But you like hanging out with me because I like nice shit. But yet when it came down to somebody's dick, and you wanting them promising you they was going to get rid of me to give you what belongs to me. Yeah, let's go kill her. Fuck out of here. Get some raggedy niggas involved and listen to that old crazy woman who raised me who didn't like your motherfucking ass either. Which you said, I don't think she like my aunt don't like me. But she probably don't. She don't like no motherfucking body. And she don't like nobody and she don't like nothing. She like your mama. She likes to see people in pain and grief. That's what she likes. Makes her feel good and special. Okay. It's kind of sick. People. Sickness. You done made that girl sick. She's mentally unwell. The comparison, if you had the spiritual experience, that, first of all, bitch, what the fuck are you talking about? Bitch. Second of all, you don't know what spiritual experiences have had. No, this is coming from a jealous bitch. That talk is jealous talk. Shit about me like you think you fucking do. You think you're cute and hot and sexy. You don't even know what that is. But yet, you keep fucking bothering me. But once again, this is... I'm not going to talk about it again. The bitch that came the other night. I can repeat myself as many times as I need to, as long as the bitch keeps coming. The sickness and the sick things that people do to their fucking children and turn them into lifeless beings. But some people get a kick out of that. They love that shit. And then you have these families, these people who they don't want their children to be better than them. I'm not saying that shit. It's not about them being better than you. Because hell, what is you? I made a post today, you know. You got a dream and the motherfucker comes to you that you maybe slipped by you, and here it comes again. Walk through that motherfucking door. Okay? And you can have more than one dream. You can want to do more than one thing. Walk through that motherfucker. Try it out. But see, even it may not even been so much a spirit of jealousy as a spirit of this first God telling her that she ain't shit. And having to live with that every fucking day. And you just want to do something that's going to make you feel as though you're somebody. Because, hell, God over here, who brought me here, and created me and birthed me and brought me, keep telling me I ain't worth a goddamn. It's not always a thing of jealousy. Are they jealous? Sometimes it is. But even so, where does the jealousy stem from? It may not even be jealousy that's really in that girl's soul and being. From the goddamn parent who's jealous and hateful toward their child. I was in that woman's motherfucking wedding when I was little. I think I was about 3 years old. I was one of the flower girls. Me, a little boy, I don't remember who that boy was, and one of them other cousins who thought she was going to torture me as well. It's killer. No, you won't be doing that. All right. Now, this here. This is the second one. Strawberry quartz with the Buddha head in jade. Now this Mookite, I could still use it. I don't like it going through this way, but but I could still use it, but I don't. I'm not. What did I do with the other parts of the I think I put it over there. I thought I put it in here, but I really don't want to I don't want to. I don't want to do it. I don't want to use that like that. Because I thought, like I said, I thought it was going straight through. And I thought it was going down. I could have sworn I looked at it in the store. But it's flat. And so maybe when I looked at it, maybe the way the light hit it, I thought I saw a hole. But it's no hole there. Okay. So that's that. So I got 4 pendulums here. Once again, if you're interested, you want one. Okay. Like, oh, this is too long for me, honey. My personal ones are usually not this long. Okay. That's strawberry quartz, the Buddha head and jade, phosphorus. I can't remember what she said. Okay, with the Buddha head here. I think that's just gorgeous. I love it. This one is kind of short. This one's very short. This is amethyst, and like I said, no, it's a little jade on here, but for the most part, it's just, you know, glass beads. And I forget what these are, but they're no special stone or anything. Or is it? Wait a minute. I don't think so. I bought it so long ago. I don't think it is. Okay, I can take it to the store and ask her. She'll look at it and tell me. Okay, but if you're interested in any of these, you can comment in the. Oh, and the choker, once again, 13.5 inches. Okay, donate if you want to give a donation. Fine. Okay, I'm not asking for one. There's no cost for these. If you're interested, put it in the comment under the video. Okay, I don't think I missed any comments from before. Okay, don't fuck around with the email. Okay, because the nutballs, I think, have blocked it and have had it that way for a long time. I know Pisces, Philippe, he has been hacked into my shit. And I believe even contacted a person that I was in communication with. I ain't talking about Scruffy on here. We'll pay you. Some more of that dumb shit. Anyway, so you can comment there if you like. All your to those out there with your repel spells and be repelled by me and don't support me and all that, right back at you, motherfuckers. It's up and off and away from me, and it will never be on me ever again. It's yours. Keep it, and it's sealed in your world, in your realm. Until I say it's off. For all the shit that you have done to me. Unjustifiably so. Fucking weirdo. She can't be in our group. Whoever said I wanted to be in your fucking groups. Your fucking cults. I've been in cults before, bitch. But at least they had a purpose. Well, what people would call cults. I was a part of the African Hebrew Israelites of Jerusalem, where Ben Ami was the founder. Some people call religions a cult. They used to call Church of God in Christ a cult. I was born and raised in that denomination. Okay, I practiced Islam for a short period as well. The Christian church. Them some cults too. Okay. Not being no cult of people not doing anything. Okay. Following weirdos who want to. Whatever. Okay, so you can, you know, I'm not going to keep it this way for long. Okay. Free for long. All I ask is that you pay shipping and handling. You express interest. I'll contact you and get your address. Send it to you. Shipping and handling probably be like $4.50, something like that. That's how much it used to be when I used to, was selling pendulums and waist beads and stuff. Okay, it might have gone up a little bit, but probably not much. And that probably wouldn't. That'd probably be enough anyway for me. All right. All right. Okay. So no, I'm gonna keep them out. And once again, the choker. Now, if you're one of these weird motherfuckers who've been harassing me, stalking me, bothering me, commenting under fake accounts thinking I don't know it's you, I will know. You're not going to get a motherfucking thing. So you can play your game. Because that's what the girl did before. I made some jewelry. I showed it to. Can I have it? I didn't really like the piece. That's why I didn't like that much. I was like, sure, you can have it. Oh, I didn't know she was going to take it and I don't know, put her twines and rope and blood and piss and all of that kind of shit on it and putting it in a jar and everything with my name attached. I didn't know she was going to do that. But she did. I'm hearing, and worse. Much worse. All right? All right. Okay. I think I'm going to do a reading real quick. I think, trying to think of what deck I want to use. There's another deck. I'm thinking, I can't think. Oh. Okay. Three the hard way. I'm sleeping. Here come three the hard way. And the two of them I ain't seen in so long in my they had stopped, but I guess, you know. Now come on, help me. So my mama love me, please. It's sad. A parent does not love you. Or at least that's how they act. I mean, love ain't that an action word. When I was with the Hebrews, they taught us that they said that love was doing what is good and right to and for someone. That is a very simple definition. The Bible says love, patient, kind, long-suffering. It is not puffed up. Don't keep an account of wrong, etc., etc. Call it charity as well. It's interchangeable. But one thing we know love ain't. It's being abusive, mentally, and probably physically, spiritually, to your child because of your hatred. And then who knows where that stems from. I'm going to do this real quick. As opposed to coming off and coming back on. I have been doing some readings about Scruffy, Brianna Bellamy over there, who's calling herself Maria Escobar Gaviria. Her weird ass. All the lies that she told about me. And making shorts and whatnot. Showing that this bitch is a fucking nut. She's lied about me. And I don't even know this ever. Some of the things that were said, that this woman said about me, I was told. A little bit of it I saw at one point was it last year, early last year, or the year before last? I think it was early last year. I had 3 people tell me some of this shit. It's twisted and weird. And none of it true. Follow me here. This is not where I was born, but this is where they brought me. From my birth. I was born in New York City. Which is so interesting because when I was little, I always had this strong affinity for New York. I was a little girl. And I think I talked about this. There used to be a song, I love New York. It's a great vacation. This is like in the 70s? Late 70s. Called it, of course, the Big Apple. I had never been there. I used to sing that song, and I always had this thing, I'm going to live in New York. I'm going to live in New York City. I always had this strong pull there. And it was so funny. I remember the lady raised me. I told her one day, I was like, I don't know why I felt that way and why I feel that way. But definitely when I was little, you know. And she just kind of, I don't know neither. Yes, you do. But anyway, and then I realized my birth mother is from there. And that's where I was born, on Long Island. But anyway, it was a private birth. Anyway, I believe this woman, this weirdo woman, I don't know for shit, said things about my daughter. Now, somebody did tell me that she said she would put a bullet through my child's head, that my daughter was about 15 or 16 years old at the time. You know this bitch from Adam, like me. And she was just astral projecting her space. And I saw one of them little gnats the other day flying and going in my daughter's room. I said, look at this bitch. And then I saw one, yes, I ain't seen them motherfuckers in so long enough. And then I saw one of them. I said, here go this bitch again. You know, it's kind of sick and twisted. If someone wants to pretend to be tough, one thing you don't do, especially when you know you're lying, talk about somebody's child. Now, I think she might even said I did something to her children. Lie. You know her children. She sent me pictures of her children when we were talking by text. These are the things people say when they want to try to ruin you and destroy you, especially on a public setting like the World Wide Web. I'm gonna destroy her. Okay. And again, I work with children. I still work with children. I haven't made shorts about it lately because I just haven't. I think the last one I did, I was at one of the high schools and we were listening to Julius Caesar. I just haven't. You know, I love children. I have always loved children. I remember one time there was a black bookstore here. The name of it was Ethnic Arts. I had worked at Ethnic Arts when they first opened. It was a mall here called Severance. I mean, it's still there, Severance Town Center. But now it's an outside mall. It used to be an inside mall. Oh my gosh, you should have seen it way back in the day. Okay, but it just was so old and everything. And they always were trying to. It was kind of like, I remember as a kid, it was kind of like that mall, like you felt was dirty and you didn't really want to go there. So they were always just trying to, you know, make it nicer and nicer and nicer. It probably was not so much dirty, but just old. They had a bowling alley in there and everything. I just remember that from my teenage years too. When I started working, I had so many jobs in Severance. I worked at Cinnabon. There was a kiosk in the middle of the mall. The guy who owned it, I thought he was like from South America. He said, no, I'm just some typical white guy. But he sold all the South American stuff, you know. Every time I came home from school, he, you know, let me work. I was the only person there. He gave me free reign with everything, you know, because he knew he could trust me. He was a lawyer, actually. I worked at, where else did I work in that mall? And Ethnic Arts. Did I work somewhere else? I remember when Ethnic Arts opened, and I was one of the earlier workers there. Ethnic Arts eventually moved out of the mall and moved into a plaza, okay? And I used to go there all the time. I knew the owner and everything. Of course, they remembered me. And they used to have these little statues and whatnot. You know, Ethnic Arts, it was, you know, your black cultural stuff. And there was a picture of an older woman with a short haircut like mine, gray. And she had on this long, beautiful, white, flowy thing. She had her arms out like this. And under each arm, it was a bunch of children. And I looked at it, I was like, oh, that's me. That's how I felt when I saw that. Because I love children. Children have to be protected. Okay. Cared for, loved. Made to you know, they need a sense of security and safety, just like adults. The children are so vulnerable because they're children. How can they fight back? Some of these children nowadays, though, they get your motherfucking ass. So one thing I remember, one of my earlier days in subbing, I started subbing in 2000, 2019, April of 2019. So it's been 6 years that I've been a sub now. I went to one of the schools. I talked about this class before. I said it was second grade, but it was actually the first grade. This is one of the, in the suburbs. These kids was tough. They was just mean and BAD. And it was when I first started subbing. So it was like May. I started in April. It was May, but I could tell you what, it didn't take me but about 2 weeks to realize you are a sub. I have to go here and be really, really stern. Okay, because I love children. So all of that, I was like, oh, I can't do that. They'll run over me. But anyway, this class, they was hard as nails. And I remember this one little girl, when I went in, I'm in there, because you have to get there early and get everything set up, read your notes and everything. So I'm in there trying to get everything ready and whatnot. And here comes some kids trickling in. And here comes the principal and some other person with the kids. And there was this little chubby little girl. And she was looking like, oh, it's on. They would not let her stay in the room. I never got to meet the girl that day or anything like that. And I was like, well, what the hell going on? Well, they don't tell you where you're going and what you're going into. I've been in ED rooms. I've been in all kind of rooms. I just sign up. They don't tell you this is what this room is. This is where you go. No, you just go. When you take that assignment, you just go. And when you get there, they can actually move you to another room. Okay. So, them kids was rough. They were so mean to me. Okay, they were so mean. And I was doing my hard, tough thing. They didn't give a fuck. They were so mean to me. So I got right down on their little level. And I remember at one point, I turned my head for a second, and somebody yelled, "They fighting!" I looked over way in the back. It was these two little boys. And when those kids fight, oh my God, the rage! I was like, gosh. I told the kids, I said, "Get out of the way. Stay away from the fight." I get to the phone, security. There's a fight. The kids are fighting. They run. They came. That was a room. They actually had a police officer come to that room. A city police officer. And I was like, "What? What is?" And they were like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, they tough. Don't get me wrong. I said, but we don't need no police officer. But the day before there was a sub because the teacher, she had a nervous breakdown. I met with this teacher not that long ago, and she couldn't come back. It was because of the class. That's how. Don't ask me who, And this was before COVID, so nobody said, "Oh, probably because COVID." No, this was before COVID. But the lady who had subbed the day before me, she was older, and she had been subbing for years. Miss E. And one of the kids had threw a chair at her or a desk or something like that. And she got hit in the head, and administration didn't do anything about it. And that's like when it is kind of, you can roll with a lot of stuff if you have a helpful administration. If you don't, I have walked out of a building before. I walked out of a building twice because of administration and all the years. Nah, buddy. You're not helping. You know what's going on in here, and it's because they don't want to deal with it. But that day that I went there, it was different probably because of what happened the day before. So when I got to them kids on their level, that's what they understood. So they stopped with all the mean shit, and we sat down. It was story time because there was no plans. There was nothing left. That lady had never big down. She was gone. So it was a lot of, okay, color this, draw. There was just nothing for them to do. So I said, let's read. I talked about this story. And the little girl, I couldn't figure out what book. And the little girl, she was so fast. She said, "I got a book. It's something about Jesus. Jesus loved the children," or something like that. I said, okay. So we read that book, and I said, let's do something. Let's talk about, I told him, I said, you guys had calmed down at that point. And I said, you guys have really calmed down, really appreciate it. And I said, when I first came in, you all were so mean to me. They were mean to me, okay? Them kids was dogging me out. And I was like, kind of hurt my feelings. I said, but even though you were, I said, I see something special in every single one of you. So I went around the room and told them, I think as you, whatever I saw in them, because I did. Even in the motherfuckers who have been attacking me, there is something in each one of them that I see that I like that in that person. I admire that. Like I was just talking about, her artwork is bar none. It's like nobody is 100% nothing or just mean and evil and hate. Nobody. Everybody has. We are all, you know, the yin and the yang, the light and the dark, you know. I was going to actually go through some of these people tonight and speak on the things in them that I see that I think is, that I like. But I'm going to move on from that. But these children that I'm talking about, this class, so the next year I go, I sign up, I don't know, same school, I don't know where I'm going, I go in, you know, and the secretary, they know me, you know. She said, Miss Lewis, you remember that class from last year? Mm-hmm. She described it. I remember. She said, we need you in there. They're in the second grade this year. And I was like, no, they're in the, second grade. It's the way the schools are divided up, okay? So it's like, because that school goes from kindergarten to third grade. And then the next school goes from fourth to sixth. And I was like, yeah. And she said, that's not where you signed up today, but that's where we need you to go. And I was like, okay. I wanted to tell her, hell no. But I didn't. But it was so wild that day, okay? They were a little bit older, but still, that was bad, okay? It got to the point that I remember I just stopped in the middle of the room and I just started laughing. That was all I could do was laugh. It was just crazy, you know? And they're laughing, you know what I'm saying? And the year before that class, I got about, you know, the kids always in the elementary schools drawing you a picture and stuff, especially if you're really firm with them. You're going to get gifts. You're going to get gifts. Because I'll go in the room really firm. Usually halfway through the day, I kind of, you know, pull back because, you know, you have to establish that boundary with them and set the tone with them. And that's even for teachers. They tell you if by the end of the school year, the class is out of control, it's because the teacher didn't set the boundary at the beginning of the year. And after maybe like a month or something, it's just too late, you know. So that day, I think I got about 20 pieces of paper, all with all kind of drawing. You the best teacher, I love you. I got so many hugs and everything. So I go back the next year, like I said. It was just crazy. I fell out, and I stopped in the middle of the floor, and I fell out laughing, you know, and I was just like, you know, it was toward the end of the day. It's just like, okay, I can't keep fighting with these kids. You know what I'm saying? I get in my car. My head was pounding. I was like, how come every time I leave, my head is always like, you go, you stress, you know? I was like, my blood pressure was probably through the roof. I said, I'm going to the high school, one of the high schools tomorrow. I went to one of the high schools. It was so chill. I was like, oh my God, thank you. I was talking to somebody the other day. They said, I would think the high school are tough. I said, usually, from what I have seen in my experience, by the time the kids are in the 10th grade, definitely 11th grade. By the time they're in the 10th grade, they're calm. They have calmed down a lot. So that class, here we are all these years later. Was it this last school year? I was at the upper building, the next building that was above that one. I had to go up in 6th grade. I don't like, I'm just going to be real. I don't like 7th and 6th grade. I go up to 6th grade, and guess who I see? All of those kids. I was like, oh my God, look at these kids, the same kids. Most of them remembered me. They were like, yeah, I remember you. and they remembered the day, too. Some of them did. And the one little chubby girl they wouldn't let in the room, she was in the room clowning. Next thing I know, she was over there crying. She was a tough thing. They was like, oh, we can't let her in. She's just too, you know, back then when they were little, they were like, we can't let her in. She's just too bad. She's not going to give you, ain't nothing you're going to be able to do with her. So I ain't let her in the whole day. So I'm in there with the 6th grade, and she's back there, and she going off, and, you know, next thing I know, she crying. This one girl came to me, she said, she crying. I said, she crying? What's she crying for? Because somebody had said something. She was fussing with somebody, and they said something to her, and it, you know, she was her. I told her, come here. So we talked about it. I said, you don't remember me, but I explained it today. And she said, oh, I remember when, she remembered when they wouldn't let her come into class. I said, that was me. So we talked about why she was upset, hurt her feelings. And that's really what was her issue. You know, she came off tough as nails. But her real issue, she had some other deep-seated issues that was, you know, I'm not just a mean girl. She wasn't just a mean girl. It was a, you know, tough exterior. She felt she had that. But that boy penetrated that shit that day. So then I was at one of the high schools last week, and I was a building sub in their middle school. And middle school is just wow. Middle school can be kind of fun, you know, depending on the kind of teacher you are, but it can be fun. And I had a good time at that school. Those kids were wild. Like I said, one time I used to be in there like this, like ducking when I walked through the hall, like, oh shit. You know, because them kids be off the chain. They're real fun in the 8th grade. They used to, like, some of the little kids would play, well, they weren't little, 8th grade, they would play some tricks on me and stuff, but it would be kind of funny. I would laugh myself. 7th grade, they're getting acclimated, you know what I'm saying? But they still kind of on that 6th grade thing until the end of the year. Well, the 1 year I was a building sub there. 1 year in the end of 1 year going into the other half of the next year. And then I went on somewhere else. I saw those kids, some of those same kids in the high school. 10th grade, I was like, oh my God, look at them. I love it. One of the kids, this boy could not be still for shit. He just couldn't. Tall, thin. I mean, we were talking about pencil thin. He could just not be still. Not a bad, not disrespectful, not bad. Just couldn't be still. Then I had a class and I saw him. I said, look at you. Just, I mean, like he just shot up like a weed. He was already tall and like just shot. And he was so much calmer. You know, 10th grade. Like I said, by the time they're in the 10th grade, a lot of them, they see me, hey, Miss Lawrence, you know. And so I love to see that, you know, how they grow up. And and then I was in a class, what was it, Friday? What's the day? Sunday, Friday. And I was just like a para, subbing for a para. And I talked to the teacher and I said, what grade is this? He said 10th. I said, okay. I said, I might know some of these kids because I was building sub when they were in middle school, 8th grade. And a lot of them that came in that room, I was like, yeah. But they were so different, so much calmer. Of course, you know, they're growing up. I love children. I don't hurt children. I don't put spell work on children. I don't put spell work on anyone. But I sure will send your shit back to you. There's one person on here I listen to sometimes. She said she'd keep that shit and alchemize it. Keep that power. I like that. I've never heard of that before. People who spit has lied on me and said the most dirty, nasty, egregious things about me. Coming here, following me here, getting involved with these people, saying these things. These people were attacking me before I even got on YouTube the first time. I would never talk about someone's children. I'm talking about want to put a bullet through a child's head and all of that kind of thing. Or anyone who hasn't done anything to me. And even this scruffy animal here. And 3 to Hardwell I was just talking about. And Pissy Philippe and all of them. I still have not said anything to that. Putting bullets through people's heads. It's ridiculous. I will not read this woman. I will not read your children. I will not talk about your children. And anybody else who said some evil-hearted shit like that, who doesn't even talk about their children, doesn't even care for their own children. But what I will read is the energy around what kind of mother you have been to your own children. Brianna Jo Bellamy, quote-unquote Maria Escobar of Gaviria, whichever one it is for the day. Since you said so I don't know what you said about my daughter. I protect my daughter and I love my daughter. And you can keep your fucking gnats, fleas, or whatever that shit is that you send. 1, 2, I don't give a fuck, bitch. You keep that shit. The next one you send, may that shit return right back to you and go right up in your nose, in your brain, and start munching on that little pea-ass brain of yours. Everyone that you think about sending, may that be the only place it goes, right to your brain and eating up at your brain. That's what I'm going to read tonight. Now, some people, you shouldn't read on, I'm going to read on this bitch. I don't give a fuck. This bitch have read on me, said nasty things about me, lied in her readings. Y'all, you want to keep them rules and regulations and dogma like religion, you go for it. That one, I will not be doing that. I ain't telling nobody else what to do. I'm talking about me. Ace of Wands, Seven of Cups, the High Priestess, King of Wands, Six of Cups in reverse, of course. A mother. You know, what was it that book? No, not The Great Cosmic Mother. What's that book I used to have? Blacked Out Through Whitewash by Suzar. S-U-Z-A-R, Dr. Suzar. She pointed out in the book how in just about every culture, the word mother, it's always like M-A, ma, you know, it's pretty much in every culture, every language. Ima, like in Hebrew, okay? Now they say it don't happen no more, okay? Talking about, what is it called? Parthenogenesis. That women need a man's sperm now to bring forth children. Okay, whatever. Of course, they're going to say it in a patriarchal society. There are probably some women out there like, goddamn, I don't know how the hell I conceived, but it's had to be this way but the last time me and him was together, the numbers just don't fit. But that's what the white man told us. Or whoever the man is in control. The man in control. In his books. We're going to believe what he say. Instead of what my body tells me, my mind, my spirit, my soul, and my personal experience. I'll let him tell me what to think. I know my own personal experience. And even my daughter's father said, ain't no way in hell you should be pregnant. I was like, I know. Doesn't make any sense. I shouldn't have. Now, according to their numbers, and the way this shit's supposed to work and flow, didn't make any sense for me to have been pregnant. But I was. Yeah, and a mother, I feel personally that mother is, a woman is like this, child comes out of you. The child is knit in your fucking womb, in your body. You feed it. It is almost like it's leeching off of you. Think of how powerful the female body is. That here in your womb, a whole nother human being is being knit in your womb. With your blood. Your DNA, your everything, your thoughts. Your emotional state, your mental state, everything right inside of you. They say for 9 months. I think it's really more like about 10 months, but whatever. And then the body itself produces food for that life, that human life that it's bringing forward. But when the child comes forth, for you to feed it, and it has enough nutrients in it for the child, the baby, the infant, to grow. That's some amazing shit. That's some powerful, amazing shit. Any men are watching, no one's dismissing you, so please don't do that. I'm talking about one side at this point. It is powerful. It is amazing. And so the child sees you. The child knows it's coming out of you. It knows you. It knows your voice. It knows your smell. It knows your touch. Even though it's within before you touch it, on the outside, it knows who you are. And it looks to you for the security, for the feeding, for the safety, cleaning his goddamn diapers and shit, to teach it, to guide it, how to walk, how to talk. Really, I can't say how to walk nor talk. They watched, and it's like it's imprinted already within. They're gonna figure this shit out, and they're gonna do it, and they're just gonna talk. But you understand what I'm saying? These other aspects there, the love, the nurturing, that everybody wants. Even adults want that. So it's like, again, the child is like, the mother is like God to the child, in a sense. This is what God does, right? This is the power that we hold. Well, they say the hand that rocks the cradle rules the world. Because even though men have their place in their ruling, or their place, whatever, who nurtures? Who is the one that brings the nurturing to the home? The hand that rocks the cradle and the teaching. There's a lot of power. That's why, like I was saying earlier, you can have a young woman like this young woman who cannot walk away from leaving me alone, looking for me to be her mother, because her mother wasn't her fucking mother. Didn't mother her, didn't love her. But when she had someone who did, she fucked it up because of what her own mother had done to her mind and destroying it. Now she all fucked up. And when I did show the love, see, some people can't handle love who ain't never got it. When real love comes along, they don't know what to do with it. It's too much. It's a man on here I used to watch years ago. Was he on here on Facebook? He made his videos, and this man talked about, I mentioned it before, but he talked about how he said he was a black man. He talked about how he had a lot of what they call them when the aliens abductions since he was a child, and he was just talking about his experience. I'm not one to say he was lying. Shit, I don't know. Shit, I'm not to say that shit ain't real. I want to say it never happened to me, but I sure did have a weird experience one night. But anyway, and he said they took him to some place, and he said it was like love, pure love. And he said, but it was so powerful, it was so strong. People told him, it's the highest vibration. Okay. He said it was so powerful and so strong. He said he had to get out of there because it was so powerful, so strong. He said it felt like it was going to kill him. That's how powerful love is. True love. And there's some people when they say they want it, and when they finally get it, they can't handle it. They push it away. It can't be real. Yeah, it's real. But when you ain't never got it, or when you got some fake shit or somebody dogging you out, you don't really know what love is. Especially from your own mother. It's a powerful thing that women hold. Women are powerful beings. So you held the power of mother in your fucking hands. But you chose illusion, lies, fantasy, men, pain, and pretending. And the high priestess Empress. On the Rider-Waite, we see the Empress is pregnant. Mother. High Priestess. Mother. I'm not saying you have to be a mother physically to be one, but mother. Nevertheless. Hell. Once again, the hand who rocks the cradle rules the motherfucking world. You know what kind of insight and intuitiveness and magic it takes to be a mother? Imagine you just picking up some goddamn book, put this, mix this with this, and mix it with that, to go throw that at that person and ruin their life. The fuck are you talking about? Alchemy? Your man or your child, we'll talk about mother. Child comes home looking sad and pitiful. Confirmation. Looking sad and pitiful. What happened? Oh, I had a bad day, mommy, because little Sally Sue over there and Johnny talked about me. Little kindergarten, little baby. What does she do? She takes that, okay, love on her, hug on her, make her feel good, or him, even though she may be tired as fuck. Give her the child the security that they need to feel, the love they need to feel, and say, let me go take something here in this kitchen with this food. Some kind of way. Whatever. Because you know how human beings are with food. We love food. And we should. It's a part of our makeup. I ain't saying abuse it. And we feed that child. Look what mommy made. Or you find something around the house in some kind of way. What's going to help make my child feel better besides my hug? Let me show them some more love. And you alchemize that negative energy, and you show that you're teaching the child how to do it so that they can now be back to themselves and brighter and better. And then you teach them and you guide them, whatever the circumstances, whatever the issue is, whatever the illusion that the child was put under, and you talking about magic and high priestess, whatever that illusion was, you bind that shit and remove it from your child's mind, heart, and soul, body, life, and spirit. And so it's not a seed planted within them to make them feel like they ain't shit and carry that shit the rest of their fucking life. The high priestess, mother. The hand that rocks the cradle rules the fucking world. Confirmation. That's the magic. And even, I'm going to even say this real quick, even the mother who decides what she wants to do with what she has produced, she wants to or reproduced, bring it forth into this world or not. She has charge over her own womb, the mother, and she always has. I don't care what laws they put into place. And they decide, well, we're going to take it away from you motherfuckers. Please. That's power. Not coming in somebody's fucking dreams, bothering them. Because you cannot handle your own mother, who was not a mother, begging for me to be your mother again. Never. The high priestess doesn't have men ruling over them in a patriarchal world. Sorry. Or any other. Determining where they should go, what they should do, and how they should do it. I mean, I know it's laws in place. Have an understanding. And nor does he ever supersede. I'm not talking about a husband. Role that you all have played together and come together. The high priest and the high priestess. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about He look good over there. Be with him. Fuck my children. No. You don't let him supersede your role as of who you are, mother, high priestess. That's the fucking high priestess. Teaching, guiding. We're talking about the basics. This is what you chose to do. And you talk about my child, some lies that you made up, some evil-hearted shit. Some motherfuckers, men constantly, men. Who you don't even fucking know. Some old fucking man. Over your role of high priestess as mother. Putting them here in the Six of Cups in reverse. Nine of Wands in reverse. Ace of Swords in reverse. Three of Cups upright. Six of Pentacles upright. Leaving them open and vulnerable to anything and anyone to party with the men's. Thinking you're going to get some fucking money and financial prosperity. You had the greatest role of all. Not teaching them. Not guiding them. Not loving them. Temperance in reverse. The Hierophant upright. Five of Pentacles in reverse. Now, anybody on here who may be watching this is no commentary on you nor your situation. I am talking about Brianna Jewel Bellamy, who decided she was going to get on this World Wide Web and lie about me and say nasty things about me and my daughter. That's who the fuck I'm talking about. I'm not talking about her children. I'm talking about the role of her as mother with those children. So anyone else, take no offense. I don't know your situation. I don't know. I'm not, and it's no commentary on it. Okay. Leaving them. There's no balance. No give and take. No love. No reciprocity. No, I'll be here for you. I'll be here for them. No. Dick. Partying. Money. Clout. Right? Because you don't want to be rejected and left out of the dick who's going to give you money and status. Constantly leaving them to go marry motherfuckers you don't know for their money. Justice in reverse. Princess of Cups upright. Two of Wands in reverse. No justice for the children, for the home, the homestead that you have made. Staying in childish energy. Acting like a fucking 14-year-old kid. Hot and bothered. Needs that money and that dick. So I can have some status and some clouts and be somebody. And leaving them with nothing. And here I am. Cause bitch, you said enough lies and shit. The one thing, and I'm still not done. I still got more proof And you didn't even get what you were looking for or what you thought you was going to get or how you thought it was going to be. Weak as fuck. And that does not a mother make. How's this? How's great? How's mad? Put bullets through people's heads and her head and her child's head. Now, you ain't gonna fuck with me or my daughter. You keep your fucking gnats and your fucking monitoring spirits or whatever the fuck that shit is. And you damn sure will not be attaching anything onto me or my daughter, which you've been trying to do as well, or my daughter. None of you motherfuckers. You have shit to say about my fucking daughter, bitch. You low life. Because that was supposed to be tough. And for you niggers who attached yourself onto that whore, you're just as pathetic. Oh, that's right. Because you just drop your seeds all over the fucking earth and leave them. Now that's the end of that. Say nothing about your children. Children are wonderful. It's people like you that fuck them up. Brianna Jordan. As Maria Escobar, Caviria. That's tough. I was gonna put bullets through her head and her daughter's head. Let's into that. I'll be back for the rest of the readings, the general readings. I have Aquarius and Pisces to do. You all have favor. Peace.